A new report by The Guardian, Oxfam, and the Stockholm Environment Institute reveals that the world's wealthiest 1% are responsible for emitting as much carbon as the poorest 2/3 of the global population. In 2019, the top 1% produced 16% of the world's carbon emissions, equivalent to the emissions of the poorest 66%. The report estimates that the carbon emissions from the richest 1% in 2019 could lead to the deaths of 1.3 million people due to heat-related issues. The top 10% of earners contributed to half of the emissions that year. The report calls for a transition to renewable energy sources and proposes a 60% tax on the income of the world's wealthiest 1% to reduce global emissions by 700 million tons. This comes as a UN report highlights a significant gap in funding for climate adaptation, with nations falling behind in necessary investments. Greenhouse gas emissions have increased by 1.2% since the previous year, and the UN Secretary-General warns that without changes, emissions in 2030 will exceed the limit set by the Paris Climate Agreement.